All right, this is April 6th. It is Wednesday. Hello, Griffin. How's everybody doing today? Say hi to Griffin. How's the band trip going? I bet you're not even going to watch this, but just in case you do. All right. All right, so we're going to get started here. We're going to go into, we've got three super bins here. We've got video clips, we've got graphic clips, and we've got audio clips. We're going to double click video clips. And we've got our video clips that we brought in. We also named all those. We've got our untitled sequence. We're going to drag untitled sequence into this window. What's this window called? The record window. Very good. All right. The record window and the timeline coincide with one another. So whatever we do down here, you can see happening up in your record window. Source window, does anybody want to tell me what the source window is used for? Yes.
That's where all your raw footage is.
Yep. All of our raw footage goes there. So if I double click on broom sweeping here, I'll hit play here. This is just your raw footage. You've got the clapboard. You've got the people getting ready for the shot. And then getting ready, getting the camera positioned. And then we would hit a mark in when we want to start the shot happening. Okay? All right, so we'll actually do that. So scene one, take one. We'll hit play. We'll tilt down to the broom, and the action happens right there. So just a quick review. This rewinds the tape. This fast forwards it. Back one frame, forward one frame, mark in. This is where you're telling the shot to start. Here's the play button. This will play the shot. Very good. When we want the shot to end, we can hit the space bar. We can hit the mark out. We've defined the shot, mark in, mark out. That's as far as it's going to give you as far as the shot. If you want to go a little bit further, you can hit play. You could change that mark out. If you could change your mind, let's bring it back again. You can change that mark out to whatever you want. Same thing with the mark in. It's changeable. Okay, just by clicking on that button. All right, and then this is your mark clip. We don't really use that one. Clear both marks. Sometimes we use that. And then sometimes this add marker thing, this is kind of useful sometimes. If you click that, we could put a marker here. You can name the marker. Black pants, gray shoes. Whether or not that's important, we've got a marker there. So if there's something that you need to mark on a clip, you can do that. All right, black pants, gray shoes. So as soon as you click off of it, you won't see it until you put your cursor back on it. If I frame back over, there it is. If you want to get rid of the marker, say you put a whole bunch of markers on your shots, you can just hit delete and it'll get rid of it. If you want to bring it back, you go edit, undo, clear marker, comes back. Okay? All right, so let's bring this back down. We're going to start with a clean sequence. Let me show you how to get rid of what's in the sequence right now. If we have everything selected, which I'll do right here, video 2, video 1, A1, A2, A3, A4. All these tracks are selected. We don't have anything on video track 2, so it doesn't really matter. We can have it either on or off. It doesn't matter. Mark it in. You put these alligator teeth here at the very beginning. Go to the very, very end. Go to mark out. You kind of see the thing. This highlights into blue. And there's two ways to get rid of everything on your sequence. You can either hit extract or you can hit lift. Okay? And I'll show you the difference here. I'll just, let's say we just want to lift out Mr. Meyer here. So we'll put a mark in, and then we'll put a mark out. Okay, so then just this part is highlighted. If we hit lift, which is the red button, it just lifts it out. And now, when we play through that, it just makes a black gap. So if ever you are editing and you want your video to like go black, that's how you do it. You don't. I've had students like go out and they wrap their camera in their sweatshirt or they wrap it in a blanket, and I'll say, "What are you doing?" Well, we're recording black because we need black in our commercial. It's like, no, that's not how you get black. All you have to do is just lift out footage and you've got black. Okay? You don't have to record black. It's there. All right, any questions on that? So you don't have to record black. All right, another way that you can do that, let me go Control Z. I'll bring this back. Control Z, bring everything back. Another shortcut that I use like all the time is the D and the F key. So right now you can kind of see that Mr. Meyer running around track is highlighted. If I hit the D and the F key, my mark in and my mark out go away. Let me show you one more time. Control Z. Control Z undoes everything that I just did. So mark in, mark out. You can kind of see that this is highlighted in blue. I hit the D, the mark in is going to go away. And if I hit the F key, the mark out goes away. All right. Extract. So we have Mr. Meyer running around the track. We've got this broom shot. Let's say I want to take out Mr. Meyer and I just want to join the broom with the artsy shot. Okay. So what I can do here is I can go mark in, find the beginning of this shot, frame back. You can kind of see where that shot happens. That little L, that signifies where that shot starts. If I go back over to the left, that little backwards L, that means that's the end of that broom shot. So zooming in to that little edit point right there, right here, you can see that line right there. Everybody see that line? You can see that when this shot ends on the broom and Mr. Meyer right here is marked with the text, you can see that there's a difference between the two shots and that line is happening there. So we'll hit mark in. Actually, we'll go mark in on this one and then we will zoom out. We'll go find the end of that. There's a little backwards L. That's the end of Mr. Meyer running. If I go forward one frame, now we're into the artsy shot by August Keyframes and go mark back in and mark out. Now if we hit extract, here's what happens. Lift, what did lift do? Made a black gap. Extract, what that does is it brings everything together. So now Mr. Meyer is gone and we've got that broom shot and then we've got the artsy shot. Okay? So it's a clean edit between the two shots here. Okay? So that's the difference between lift and extract. Questions on that? And you don't have to take out a whole entire shot. Here, let me show you this. Control Z, undo. You'll love Control Z. Or if you're a clicker, edit, undo. It will undo the last 25 things that you've done. Okay? We can customize that. We can go up to, I think, 75. We've had students come in, edit, and they're like, oh, what did I just do? And they like have screwed everything up, and they sit here, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, and they do it enough times to where they get it back to, there we go. Now it's back to where it is. So you can even customize how many levels of undo that you want. If you go up here to settings, I'm not sure exactly where it is. It might be under general maybe. General, no. Let's see. Video display timeline. Might be under edit. Audio communication. Controller settings. No. Composer. I will find it and I'll let you know. Levels of undo, okay? So like I was saying, if you want to take out part of this running, you could just take out, like, let's say we want to take out, that's about 4 seconds. So we hit mark in, and now you've got Mr. Meyer running around the track, and then that mark in happens. It's blue, it's blue, it's blue, mark out. So if you want to just lift out this little section, if we hit lift, you get that black gap. If you hit extract, it closes that gap, okay? So that's extract. So we're going to take out the whole thing. So same way, we hit mark in at the beginning, mark out at the end. And I'm going to show you the difference between the way that I edit and the way that some students will edit. So if I hit extract here, I've got mark in and I've got mark out. I hit extract. Everything goes away and you have a clean, you have nothing in your sequence right now. I personally can't edit like this. I need like space. So I'm gonna hit Control Z. So what I do when I edit, and the only way that you can do this is if you do it like this. If you zoom in all the way, put your cursor all the way to the very, very end, and you zoom in to that little spot, if you leave one frame, see this little blue bar, that's one frame of video. If you leave one frame at the very end and you take everything else out, so you see where my mark in is here, right, or my mark out is right here. There's one frame just sitting right out here. Okay, I'm going to go to the very beginning, make sure my mark in is there. And now if I hit lift, and I take out D and F, I'm going to hit D and F, clear both marks. This is the way that I edit. I have to be able to see my time down here, just so that for me, so I know how long my sequence is going. If I'm editing a wedding or if I'm editing a movie or whatever I'm editing, I have to see how much time I've got here. Oops. Control Z. So if I hit play here, there's 2 seconds, there's 4 seconds, there's 6 seconds. That's still not enough time for me. If I'm doing like an hour-long project, here's what I'll do. I'll show you what I do. Even if you guys are doing like a half-hour show, this is what I would do. Mark in. I want more time down here. So there's 6 seconds. I'm gonna hit splice in a whole bunch of times. There's 8 minutes. There's 10 minutes, 12 minutes. Like some of the projects that I'll do, I'll record like a wedding reception, and it's 45 minutes long. So I'll put in all that time. I put in that shot over and over and over again. I'll leave that one frame at the very end, and I'll hit mark out, and then I'll hit lift. There. Now I've got all this space to put in my shots. I've got 20 minutes of time of empty space to work with. Now whether or not you're that type of editor, it's totally up to you. You'll find out if you want to have that much time or if you don't want that much time at all. So the other option is if you do it like this and you go shot by shot, mark in, mark out, lift. And so then your sequence gets built shot by shot, overwrite. So now you don't see any empty space here. If I hit play, I don't see anything past that point. Now let's say I put in another shot. Mark in, mark out. And I hit overwrite. I put in another shot in. See, there's nothing for it to play past. So I'm at 3 seconds there, but there's nothing there. This is driving me absolutely crazy. So I need that time. I don't know if it's a space issue for me or what, but that's the way that I do it. But students will say, well, how do I get extra time? So we'll bring in a shot. Here, I don't want to call anybody a dummy. Here. So I tell students, okay, we'll bring in a dummy clip and then just lift it out. A dummy clip? What's a dummy clip? And people call them slugs. People call them different things. So let me hit mark in. Let me hit mark out. I'll hit overwrite. We're overwriting that shot. So everything is gone when I hit overwrite. And then if you want that space, if you want that empty sequence, you'd hit mark in. Leave one frame. So if you go to the very end and zoom in, leave that one frame right there. See how there's one frame of gray. And then you just lift everything out. How do you get rid of your mark in and out? D and F, the two grades that you never want to get. D and F. So there's my empty timeline. All right. So any questions so far? Any questions? No questions. All right. So let's build something. Artsy shot. No, let's go to broom sweeping. So we're going to do a collage of clips here. We're going to show you how to get music down on here too. Mark in. So we've got mark in, mark out. There's our sweeping shot. Did we ever, did we tilt up? We didn't tilt up. Okay. So let's put in a mark in. That's where we want the first shot to start. We'll hit overwrite. We also have sound on this. Okay. Another thing that you can do, we talked about lifting and extracting. If you didn't want the audio on that, you could also just lift out the audio. So here's a kind of a cool thing that you can do. You can do it a really slow way, or you can do it a fast way. If we want to get rid of the audio here, we can go mark in, mark out, surround that whole thing with blue, and then deselect video 1, and then we'll hit lift. Now our audio is gone. So now we just have video. Okay, we brought in some Kelsey voiceover yesterday under audio clips. Kelsey knew.
3. Teaching in a running.
Did I tell you guys that the J key goes backwards?
Teaching in a brand new high school is like joining a new world for Mrs. Van Bellinger.
Pretty fun.
Teaching.
Sometimes it sounds like a foreign language. So we'll mark in.
Teaching in a brand new high school is like joining a new world for Mrs. Van Bellinger.
Mark in, mark out. So now what we can do, we've got this sweeping shot here, right? We've got two handles here, this A1 and this A2. What we can do is we can push mark in. We get our alligator teeth here. We can push, well, we'll just leave it open here. And if we hit overwrite, here's our clip that we're going to bring in on A1 and A2. If we want it down on A3 and A4, these two handles, A1 and A2, if we point those down to A3 and A4, this is where our audio is going to go. Watch. Overwrite, there's our audio. If I want it up on track 1 and 2, I have to physically point this. You can kind of see I'm clicking, I'm pointing up there. Mark in, overwrite. There's that audio piece again. So I have to point these audio handles, and video kind of works the same way. I'll show you that in a second here. You have to point where you want your audio to go. Mark in, overwrite. Now we want the audio up on 1 and 2. Point it up there. Mark in, overwrite. Okay, so you guys get the hang of the audio handles. Wherever you want the audio to go, you have to tell it where to go. If you don't have these selected, it will not put it on there. If I hit overwrite, I'm hitting overwrite, it's not there. Okay, so you have to have these audio handles selected to put the audio clips in. So here's our audio with the video.
Teaching in a brand new high school is like joining a new world for Mrs. Van Bellinger.
Let's get a walking shot, get the clapboard out of there. Clapboard gets out. Nope. Sorry, I was just kidding. All right. Clapboard out. Wait for the walk. Cut on the action right there. Mark in.
Action.
Oh, let's leave my voice in there. Action.
Action.
So we're walking. Mark in, mark out. We don't need the extra stuff that's happening at the end. Zach's looking at the shot here. Got the clapboard there. So we're editing all that stuff out by pushing mark in and mark out. Now we're going to put this shot in on video track 1. You'll notice that video track 1 is white right here, and video track 2 is blue. We want to tell AVID, okay, put the shot back on video track 1. So here's how you do that. See that little box that just popped up here? It just saved it for me. Everything that I've done is now saved. Okay, so it does that every 10 minutes for you. Now I want this on video track 1. If I wanted it on video track 2, all I'd have to do is hit overwrite. But also, is there any audio tracks that are highlighted? 1 and 2 are. So is there audio on this? Yes, it's me saying action, right? And then there's nat sound of the field. So if I hit overwrite, someone tell me what's going to happen. Is he playing a game?
Yep.
What?
Sorry.
Here, you teach for 2 minutes. Go.
No.
Yeah? 2 minutes. Teach.
I can't.
Go. Werner, go.
Alright, overwrite.
No, go to the computer.
Excuse me.
class something that you have learned?
Overwrite will take the clip. It will just like take out a clip and leave a blank space so that it'll just be a black screen when you're playing on the play screen up here. And then splice in. If you splice in a clip, it'll move every clip down and it will leave like it will like move all the clips down from where you placed it. So say like I placed right. Yeah, right there, and then we place in, splice in. So now it didn't mess up all the time on this. And if you would have overwrite, so if we go Control Z, and we overwrite that clip, it takes out the video of this one. So now you don't have
The audio, you mean, right?
yeah the audio. Sorry,
That's okay.
and then
Okay.
New World for Mrs. Van Bellinger.
So-
do you know also how do you? Okay, so can you show me how to get the video down on video track 1? How to do that from TSD?
yeah. You go video track 1.
So that clip.
There you go.
Oh wait, yeah.
And then don't we undo those?
No, let's keep the sound in there.
Alright. And then the video should you splice it in? Nope.
You have to
It's-
push mark in first.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Sorry.
There you go. Now it should then you push
Very
splice.
good. Yep. So you have that video handle. So now point that video 1 handle up to video track 2.
Okay.
Video 1, sorry.
There you
Go
go.
up to the video track, up on the left side.
Left side. Put video right here.
Video 1. Point video 1 up to
Yep.
video 2. So now all your video go up to video track 2, correct?
Should.
Very good, thank you. Excellent job. Perfect. Yeah, give him a hand. All right. So not only are there audio handles, but there's also video handles where you can tell the video to go. When we start building like B-roll, what is B-roll?
B-roll is like the extra stuff. Like,
Be more specific on B-roll.
it's like your video. It's like your, you know.
It helps tell the story,
Yeah.
right? So if we have a newscaster that's on the desk talking about the house fire and the flames were 20 feet high and there are 5 fire trucks that showed up and there was water flowing out of the fire trucks, would you want to see the reporter on the desk talking about how many fire trucks there were, or would you want to see the fire actually?
Fire.
You want to see the fire, right? So that would be called
B-roll.
B-roll, right, exactly. Okay? So when we start adding B-roll, here's what we do, typically. So I'm going to put this at the very beginning. I'm going to put it on video track 1. I've got my handle here. Video track 1, A1, and A2. I've got Nat sound and this establishing shot. We're establishing where this shot is happening with this one. Okay? We're going to push mark in. I can either push it on here or I can push it on here. It doesn't matter because these two windows coincide with one another. And we're going to hit splice in. So we're going to push everything over. You'll notice also here, A3 and A4, they didn't move, okay, because they aren't selected. So let me show you something. Control Z, I'll hit Control Z. If I select A3 and A4 here, what's going to happen here is it's going to push everything over. Pushing it over, pushing it over, all right? So all these things are getting pushed over. A lot of people make this mistake where they'll put in footage, but they won't have everything selected, and like, this piece of audio will be in sync with this shot.
Teaching in a brand new high school is like joining a new world for Mrs. Van Bellinger.
So if this voiceover that Kelsey recorded was tied with this video, it's a broom sweeping on the floor. Of course, it's not. But let's just for the time being, let's say that this audio should go with this shot right here. All right.
Teaching in a brand new high school is
If you want to add a shot at the very beginning of this establishing shot, and you want these two pieces to stay together, if you don't select all your tracks, this shot will not stay with the audio. So let me show you this. We hit splice in, we put it at the very beginning. So here's what happens.
Teaching in a brand new high school is like joining a new world for Mrs. Van Bellinger.
So now our shot is missing. It's right here. It's that sweeping shot. Control Z. So you have to have all your tracks selected and then hit splice in, and that will push it over. Okay?
Teaching in a brand new high school.
There's a little spot. Someone was counting down. Right there. We want to pull that little piece out right there. 5. So in order to pull that out, what do we got to do? Mark in, mark out. I want to keep that frame of the broom, so I go back one frame. Mark in, mark out. Here again, also, a lot of students will make this mistake too. I don't want you to make this mistake. Video track 2, all the tracks, when you lift things out or you're extracting, all of your tracks right here, all of those should be highlighted. Every single one. And then when you hit lift or if you hit extract, it would bring everything together like that.
Teaching in a brand new high school is.
Okay. B-roll. Let's talk about B-roll. Let me go up to, let's go to the broom shot. Sure, why not? Push mark in. We'll push mark out. And somewhere in here, we want to put that shot of the broom. Let's put it right here. If we hit mark in, this is where we're going to put that shot of the broom. If I want to keep this natural sound of the classroom, if I want to keep that intact, I'm going to take off A1 and A2. I'm also going to take off A3 and A4. So the only thing I want to do is just add this shot of the broom. And I want to put it on video track 2. So I'm going to point this handle up to video track 2, and nothing else is selected here. You can also signify how long you want that shot of the broom coming in. Right there, mark in, mark out. When you push mark in and mark out on your sequence, you get this little blue spot telling you how long it's going to go in there. And then we would hit overwrite. So this is what that shot looks like. So this way the audio doesn't get interrupted. This is your B-roll. It goes to the broom shot, goes back to the classroom. So if we zoom in on this little spot, here's what's happening. We've got the classroom right here. We've got the sound of the classroom. When we put video on top of it, it's forced to play whatever's the topmost video track. Okay. This little television, this throws students off. So I just want to make sure that you're aware of this. If you have no television on here, let's add a couple more video tracks. New video track, right click, new video track, right click, new video track. We have 5 video tracks here, and you'll see that video track 3 has the television on. If we have no television on, meaning there's no TV here, there's no TV here, there's no TV here, no TV here, and no TV here. There's nothing on. Here's what you're going to get. Students will freak out. They'll say, my sequence is there, but it's not playing. I don't know what I did. And I'll just come over here and I'll go, boop. It's like, oh, Mr. Touch, you just saved my life. This is so awesome. So that's why I'm stressing it right now that this little TV, this can ruin your afternoon. Like, oh, where'd my stuff go? I see my sequence, I see my audio, there's my B-roll, and there's nothing there, okay? So, oh, I thought it was like storming outside. Yeah. Griffin, can you hear that? It's like they're moving like something upstairs. Okay. Anyway. What? All right, so you guys understand this television? Raise your hand if you don't understand this little TV here. Everybody understands it. Okay. So if we had 5 video tracks here, let me show you this, and then I'll show you something really cool. Because I haven't gotten to all the cool stuff yet. Let me go to... Let's stay outside. Let's put this on video track 3. We'll hit mark in, and we'll hit overwrite. And then I'm going to put something on video track 4. To put something on video track 4, I have to move my, bless you, your video track. I got to click, and I got to point. See a little pointer right there? Point that up to video track 4. I'm going to push mark in, and we'll bring up another shot here. Bring up summer. Mark in, mark out, mark in, overwrite. Oh, that's on shot 5. That's fine. I'll go down to 4 here. And mark in. And then an art shot here. Perfect. Mark in, mark out, and overwrite. All right. So we have 5. We have 5 video tracks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which one can we see? We can see video track 4 right now. We can see video track 3. We can see video track 2 and video track 1. All right, so we have the establishing shot. We have scene 2, take 1, scene 3, artsy shot by August, and artsy shot by Tauchi. Can you see all of them at the same time? Nope, because they're all on top of one another, except when we add a picture-in-picture effect to some of these, which we're going to do here. But just so that you know, this little television, if you only have video track 1 selected, you're only going to see video track 1. And they'll say, well, I put B-roll on top of that and it's not playing. So you got to make sure that that little television is selected, and then you'll see it, okay? Anybody know why that's happening? I did that on purpose so that you could see. Sometimes you can see a frame of video. So if you want things to be, if you want things to match up, like right when that happens, you can, what you can do is you can pull this over, you can pull this over, and you can pull this over. So if all these video shots are incorporated with each other, you can actually fine tune that. Same thing on the end. If they all should end at the same time, you can do this. You can also extend these things out. So let me show you that really quick. Oops. So video track 2, we want to extend that out right here. If I zoom in, I'm going to show you a new tool. It's the second tool on the bar here. It's called trim mode. So if I click trim mode, you'll notice that that end of that track right here is highlighted in purple. And then also up here it gets highlighted. I can click down and I can drag this over and I can make the shot longer.
Does that make it like slow-mo?
Nope, it makes it longer. So we still had some more post roll on it. So I'm not sure what that's going to look like. We can actually take a look at it. So run across the bristles, run back. So we put more of the shot in there. It didn't make it slow, it didn't make it fast. Artsy shot by August, if we want to extend that, we have to select video track 4, take off video track 2, and then go into trim mode. It highlights that little track right there. Click down, pull it over, and now they're all kind of matching except for that one. So if you want to make them all match, here's how you can do that. A really, really quick way to do it is mark in, mark out, and you'll notice that only video track 4 is selected. Select video track 5, select video track 3, select video track 2. We'll hit lift. And now you have all the video tracks ending at the same time, going back to our establishing shot. Our establishing shot, B-roll, goes back to that shot. Okay, so if we want to see all of them, here's how you do that. We're going to go up to our effect tabs right here in our project bin. So our project window, this is where our bins are. So we've got our settings and we've got our effects. We've got blends, we've got dip to color, dissolve, fade to color, picture in picture, superimpose. If you film something too dark, you can go into color effect. You can bring things up. If for some chance you forget, if you need to adjust some white balance, you can go into image and you can go to color effect, color correction. You can mask, you can flip flop, you can resize, you can key things. If you film something on the green screen, you can go to Spectromat and take out the green screen and put whatever you want behind yourself. Illusion effects, those are pretty cool. Generator, not too many things there, but plasma wipes, those are pretty neat. But there's always a time and a place for effects, so use them wisely. But the thing I wanted to talk to you about was picture in picture. We're going to drag this onto the top one. Click that TV on. And what it does is it drops everything down to 50%. Picture in picture, drag it onto there. Brings it back to 50%. Picture in picture, drag it onto there. Brings it back to 50%. Picture in picture, brings it back to 50%. All right, so here's the cool thing. We can actually click and drag these shots wherever we want. We can go to Tools, go to Effect Editor. And so now when you go to Tools and go to Effect Editor, let me show you that one more time. I just want to work with track 5 right now. I'm going to go up to Tools, go to Effect Editor. You'll notice that that shot right there gets highlighted with white outline. So now I can click and I can move that. Go to the corner. I'm going to click the next track. Brings the next one up. Move that one right there. Click on video track 3. Put that right there. Video track 2. Move that one over. So now we have 4 video tracks playing on top of our establishing shot. Now if I only have video track 1 selected here on the television, will those other layers play? No, they will not. It will just keep playing the first track. So if we click on video track 5 and we hit play, you'll see all 4 of those shots moving at the same time. Okay? A lot of students have done that with their television commercial. They'll bring in like a Nike logo. They'll have the Nike logo down here, and it will be getting closer to the camera, and then they'll have like 3 athletes, one right here, one right here, one right here, using a Nike product. So the creativity is completely up to you how you would want it, and you don't have to have your boxes like this. I mean, you could have your boxes however you want. Let's deselect a couple of these. You can go to Tools, go to Effect Editor. You can make one in the middle. You can also make the boxes move. You can put keyframes in. If you see that line there, I'm actually adding keyframes here by accident as I move these things. Go back to Tools, go to Effect Editor. That line that's being added there on all of these, I'm actually telling it to move. So now when I play this back, here's what's happening. So you can kind of customize how you want things. You can make them bigger than that if you want. Tools, Effect Editor. Oops. You guys see these little purple little triangles? These are called keyframes, and anytime that you make a change, like when I moved Summer here that was working on this shot or this painting. When I moved her, it added a keyframe. If I do anything else with that, watch right here in this cursor, it's going to add another keyframe. These are little tiny keyframes. So if I wanted to have this bump up and down, I could do that. Just moving this up and down, down, up, down, up. So now these are all keyframes. I'm telling that shot to do all these little actions. So if I hit play, brings it up, goes down, and then it bounces up and down. So sometimes students will have something fall out of the sky, and this will be their ending move. They'll have it like land like that, because things when they fall out of the sky, they don't just stop. They actually have some bounce to them. So you have to go in and you have to program that shot to do that move. So it's pretty fun to do things like that. All right, what questions can I answer? Picture-in-picture is an advanced thing. I wouldn't expect you guys to use that probably for another month, but there might be someone that wants to. If you don't want 4 video tracks, if you say, okay, I don't need 4 video tracks, what I can do is you can highlight these 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, and if you hit on your keyboard, you hit delete. You have to kind of be really careful about this delete key, because whatever you have selected, as far as the blue, if I hit OK, it gets rid of those tracks. So if you want to get rid of a piece of audio or a piece of video, don't hit delete on your keyboard, because it will erase that track. You guys know how to get rid of stuff on your timeline. You either hit extract or lift. Mark in, mark out. Highlight this stuff. Lift creates what? A black gap. And if we Control Z, if we hit extract, it brings everything together. Let's show you some dissolves. Bring in the talking shots here.
Alright, well, cut, I guess.
Did you say anything here?
Yeah. He said what he did on the break.
Scene 1.
5.
It's up more.
Say something.
I went swimming, and I went and saw a bunch of airplanes, and I spent time with my family and awesome shoes.
That's good. Mark in, mark out.
I went
Yep.
swimming. And there was snow on me. I went swimming.
Say something.
Okay, so we're gonna keep say something in there. We're gonna go mark in, mark out. Here's our shot. How do I get that into the timeline?
You press the right red button that has an arrow.
And what's that called?
Overwrite.
Very good. There it is. So notice that if I hit Control Z, there is no mark in on the timeline down here. There's nothing down here. There's nothing up here. So wherever your cursor is, be careful about this too. Wherever your blue cursor line is, let's put it right at 20. Notice that if I don't put a mark in, I don't hit this button right here, watch what happens. If I hit overwrite, it puts it right there. Okay, so let's say I want the next piece of video right here, but my mark in. Students do this all the time too. They're like, all right, so I want my next piece of video right here. Notice where your mark in is right here. It's right at the very beginning. And you push mark in, or you hit overwrite, and they'll wonder, why in the world did my video and my audio go to the very beginning? If you go Control Z, this is where your mark in is. So always be aware of where your mark in is on your sequence, okay? So if you want your next shot to be right there, get in the habit of pushing mark in, okay? Another thing that happens to students is they'll have mark in and mark out in the same frame. You see alligator teeth and alligator teeth on the same shot, and they'll do this. They'll hit splice in or overwrite, and they'll just have one frame go into the shot. So be careful on that too. All right.
Say something.
I win.
All right. So we're gonna fine tune this edit here. You can hear Zach saying, "Say something."
Say something.
I win.
Okay. So then Nate starts talking while Zach is talking. So here, listen.
I win.
But then you restate it, so that's good. So I went. I went.
I win.
Right here. This is where it starts. So if we want to keep the video, but we want to get rid of that extra audio or say something, we don't want that. We can just take out the audio if we want. So we go mark out and we go mark in. We want to keep the video though, so we'll take out video 1. Then what would we hit? Would we hit extract?
No, he's left.
Why wouldn't we hit extract? Yep, it would bring the audio back. So let's just do that for the right now. So here's another thing. Everything will get out of sync. We're out of sync by, is that 48 or 40? 48. So we're out of the AVID will tell you how many frames you're out of sync on.
I went swimming, and I went and saw a bunch of airplanes, and I spent time with my family, and I bought some shoes.
So when this happens to you, and it will, just Control Z. If you ever see those white numbers with a negative sign, you know that you did something wrong. So just Control Z and get it back and figure out, okay, what did I do wrong here? If you hit lift, you're not going to pull things back. All right. So we get rid of all that extra garbage for audio. We've got our leading, and you get okay.
I went.
Okay, makes sense? Okay. Raising the volume on Nate. I want the audio louder. We go up to Tools. We go to Audio Mixer. This is on audio track 1 and 2. Move this down here. A1 and A2 is right here. A1, A2. If I group these together, if I push these group buttons, group and group, these two will move at the same time. If I don't group them, what will it not do? It won't move at the same. So we always group those together, or at least I do. Bring the audio up. Play it back.
I went swimming, and I went and saw a bunch of airplanes, and I spent time with my family, and I bought some shoes.
Okay, that's good. Let's add a graphic. To add a graphic, what do we got to do? To add a graphic to Nate's shot, right click, new video track, to be continued till tomorrow.